hot minute since we've last seen each other on this channel, and there is a reason for it, and I will be giving you the SparkNotes version of it. But first things first, it is a sweet jolly 6:30 in the morning, and it's a Wednesday, and we have a lot of work to do because exam season is approaching. But now let me quickly catch you up on the past few months and why I wasn't here. The short version is I was in pain and I was doing terrible. Now the context you need for this story is that I have an autoimmune disease and I had a flare up in the summer, so I got new medication which worked great. So everything was looking amazing until I got side effects from that medication, and they were really painful. And I had to see a specialist doctor just for those side effects, but apparently that doctor was blind because they overlooked what was actually going on in like 5 appointments. So I ended up in the hospital, but they found out what was wrong with me, helped me. But now it turns out my doctor is still blind apparently because they overlooked something else, which has turned into such a big problem that I'm gonna have to get surgery after my exams. So things have been going really great for me.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
So, you know, overall, I would rate the past few months a solid -10 out of 10 because I was doing terrible. There were times that I was in so much pain that I literally could not go to my lectures. Like I was just lying in bed and crying because of pain. So I haven't really been able to do as much as I wanted to do this semester, and I actually dropped out of one of my classes because I was just like, yeah, no, I cannot handle it. Like I cannot even handle my daily life. So we're not doing that. I am doing the bare minimum this semester, and I'm just hoping that things will get better next semester because I'm now terming this new era the Happy Elena era, and it better be living up to its name. But before we can truly enter the Happy Elena era, we need to go through exam season era, which means I'm gonna have pretty much no life aside from studying and yeah, sleeping. My exams are coming up on Monday and Tuesday next week, so I only have 2 exams, which is great. And I'm currently studying for my, I guess you'd call it, antitrust law exam in the US. Basically, the idea is companies behaving in a way that isn't really great for competition. And yeah, I'm just in the process of writing my notes for that, so let's get to work. Studying, I love to put on my noise cancelling headphones. They help me so much with focusing. I've had noise cancelling headphones for years, and honestly, it's been really a game changer for studying. And I usually listen to German rap while I study. I know a lot of people think that's really distracting, but honestly, Raf Kamara's The album is my jam for studying, and this is what my notes look like right now. So after I've already taken some more notes this morning, so this is where we're at. It's not bad, but we still have quite a bit to go. I took very detailed notes for this subject just because it's a very new material to me, and so I just wanted to make sure that I don't forget anything in my study notes. And then I had to pack my bag and get ready to go to lectures because yes, we still have lectures in exam season. This is a really weird concept for me because in the UK we had like weeks or even months actually to prepare for these exams, but the exams were also for the entire year, not just, you know, one semester. But here the exams are in the last week of lectures. Like I'm literally sitting the exams before the final lectures in these classes have been given. Now obviously we will not be tested on the final topics that we have not been lectured on, but still that's kind of a weird concept to me. When I was back, I made myself a little snack and tried to read a bit in the newspaper because I want to do that more.
A few minutes later.
Hello and welcome back to my desk. It is time to get back to work. It is 11 something and we still have some work to do for my competition antitrust law class, whatever you want to call it in English. In German it is called Wettbewerbs- und Kartellrecht, and we still have to write some of my study notes. I only have like 4 pages to go from the script that the professor provided, so that actually doesn't look like a lot. I mean, that's what the script looks like, so I always have my notes here and then I have the lecture notes right here that the professor provides. But see, here's the thing. These 4 pages are actually 3 to 4 lectures, I think, because the script is written in such a way that it gives you kind of all the key words that you need to be able to throw around, but it doesn't tell you what they mean. So the script is kind of useless to you unless you have attended the lectures or, you know, you read up on the topic, whatever. So that's actually a lot more work than what it looks like. And if anyone wants to point out that I still cannot say the number 3 because it always sounds like free, as in, you know, you don't have to pay for something, I'm sorry, I just don't know how to do it, okay? I can say the, like the chair, I think that sounds right, or they, But for some reason I cannot say the TH in free, and it has always been that way. So sorry, not sorry, I cannot fix it. Anyway, now it's time to get back to work, so let's go. So I sat back down at my desk to write my study notes. The writing of the notes is what really does help me study, because it just helps me remember things. I also do read over the notes later, and seeing everything in my own handwriting also does help me remember, but the writing itself is probably the biggest thing for remembering information for me. And after I took some notes, I then went to my kitchen to make myself some lunch. My kitchen is tiny, but honestly, I'm grateful to have a kitchen at all, because when I was looking for apartments in Tübingen where I'm doing my master's, it was a really difficult search. And given what's on the market for student flats, I think my apartment is like a 10 out of 10, at least in my opinion. I really like it. And look at this cute bunny that I have on my table. I actually got it for free because I ordered something online. I think it's kind of weird that you can turn the head full circle, but I really like the way it looks. I think it's cute. And then it was time to get back to work. Now, I always keep the written law next to me so that I can look at the different paragraphs as I'm writing about them. Sometimes I also get my textbook out just so that I can look things up that I maybe haven't fully caught in the lecture, so that I can then have the concept written down in full in my study notes.
12 seconds later.
We're having a slight problem, a tiny problem. If you're wondering what the exact size of the problem is, it's the size of this iPad. Why? Because it is losing battery while it's charging. So that's an issue. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that this iPad is 5 years old and that it has been getting closer to the brink of death because it has just been losing battery a lot faster. But this is a new one even for this iPad. And I just hope that it can postpone its death until after my exam season, because I need it. Like, desperately. So the plan for now is I'm going to take a short break and I'm just going to grab my book and I'm going to let the iPad charge for a bit, maybe until it reaches like 20% or something, so that I can then continue my notes while it is charging. And I just hope that it won't die on me right before my exams, because honestly, that would not be great. This is the book that I'm currently reading. It's part 2 of a fantasy series. I quite like the first one, but I also think it has some weaknesses because it's very relationship focused, and so the plot doesn't really get the most pages, especially towards the end, which was kind of sad. But let's see how part 2 is doing. And then it was time to get back to work, and I just wrote more study notes. And I think you can tell by the light changes in this time lapse that I was sitting at this desk quite a while. A very tired Elena is about to tell you how long I actually sat there and whether it paid off, as in whether I finished my notes.
Many hours later.
I know that this is not how you define a power move, but I'm still going to label what I just did a power move because it makes me feel powerful, like I can actually get some stuff done, because I finished my notes for my antitrust or competition law class, whatever this is called in English, I do not know, but it does not matter, okay? The point is, I'm done. And yes, I am going to show you the whole thing now because I worked on this for hours, and this is what I poured my blood, sweat and tears into. So this is what it looks like. I've got all my study notes done for this, so I can work on my study notes for the other exam and I can study over the weekend. So this is actually really good news that I finished this. And as you can see, it's quite a bit, but I think I've already studied quite a lot from just writing it down, because that really helps me for studying. And now I am tired as heck. It is almost 11 p.m. and I was thinking of still reading something in my book, but honestly, I think I'll just fall into bed and I'll sleep in tomorrow, which means I'll wake up at like 7:30 or 8. That is my definition of sleeping in an exam season. So yeah, let's get ready for bed and, you know, just celebrate in my mind that I finished these notes so that I can write some other notes tomorrow. Yay! Here's a very tired me getting ready for bed, so I just took off my makeup, did my whole skincare routine, yada yada yada, and then it was time to go to bed. And I really thought I would just fall asleep immediately, but somehow when I fell into my bed I actually wasn't that tired, so I then just grabbed my Switch and walked through my Animal Crossing village for a few minutes. I know looking at screens is really not the best when you're trying to fall asleep, but I just did it for a few minutes because honestly I just couldn't sleep yet, and I thought I kind of deserved it after writing all these notes. And yeah, that's it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye!